our really special guest, Giovanna Basso. She's Brazilian, a social activist, author of the books Adolescente and Habitude, and she's looking to study social sciences and government. So, welcome, Giovanna. Feel free to get started.
Thank you so much, Giovanna. So, welcome everyone. I know I'm the first one to speak and I'm a bit nervous. Everyone is, so I hope you all enjoy this. So yeah, you can call me G if you want to. I'm 19. I'm from Brasilia, although I'm in the countryside of São Paulo right now. And so my story with YYGS is a bit weird. Just a little bit of context. I I didn't really plan on applying. Just a friend of mine just like told me I should apply, and I was like, okay, fine. And I actually did my application. I wrote all of my essays 2 days before the deadline. So please do not do that. Like seriously, do not do this. Oh, there's someone from Minerva! Yay! Yeah, and so I went to YYGS in 2019. I went to a session called International Affairs and Globalization, which does not exist anymore, and it's a shame. And YYGS for me symbolized independence. It was my first time actually traveling by myself. I did everything by myself. I was actually the first one to arrive. And YYGS was really weird because I was literally the first one. And it was all about exploring new things because I came from a school where students were not really into extracurriculars. They were not really passionate about things. And I was a bit like the opposite. I had a feminist club. I was doing a lot of things. I was a bit too obsessed with getting good grades, I admit. But my friends were not. And at YYGS, I met a totally different reality because, well, first of all, people my age were actually really, really amazing. And I had a little bit of like, am I really in the right place? I don't know, maybe I was. And talking a bit about my GPA, my stats and all of that, I feel a little bit uncomfortable. But since I have to compare who I was in 2019 and who I am right now, at the time I applied, I was in grade 11. And so I was a rising senior. At the time I went to YYGS, I had a 4.0 GPA. I was one of the directors of the MUN club that we had in my school. And I also had created a feminist club, which was really, really like innovative, and no one really, was talking about feminism and gender equality in my school. So it was really, really important because it was the first club, a girl club in Brasilia, and so it meant a lot to me actually. And right now, when I graduated high school and I applied to Minerva, fun fact, I applied to Minerva as a senior and I was rejected. Long story. But then I took a gap year and applied again, which was a blessing, honestly, because I didn't really, in my senior year, I was, able to actually think about grades and high school and all of that, and not necessarily about college and stuff. So I also had a 4.0 GPA. Yeah, and so I published my book. I don't know if you can see it right here because okay, anyways, you can see it here on the slide. I'm clearly in San Francisco right now. And I was part of the Adolescent Girls Advisory Council, which is a council that Global Fund for Women has, and basically we are like 12 girls from around the world, and we decide which organizations should receive money. It's like a really amazing thing. So if you have a project or organization related to feminism and gender equality, please apply to Global Fund for Women. I would love to read your application. And during my gap year, I explored new hobbies and discovered that I really like working with marketing and social media and storytelling. And so comparing my essays from our YGS and to the application that we have at Minerva, which is totally different, by the way, I wrote an essay The first essay, which was about a social challenge, a social inequality thing. It was a 500-word essay, something like that. And I wrote about the favelas in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil for some reason, which I've never been to Rio. But I wrote about it because I was so excited about the topic, because I was actually studying that in school. And I was just so fascinated because I brought a new perspective on it. And I was talking about history, which I was very passionate about at the time. So I talked about the history of the favelas and cycles and colors, and I actually have a video on my YouTube channel about that. I can also put here on the chat if you want to. So I actually break down the essays to see how I actually showed all of my, qualities. And then the other essay, I talked about feminism and how I want my younger sister to actually, feel empowered and to have, I don't want her to feel the need to create a feminist club in her school. And I also talked about MUN and how insecure I was by speaking in public. I was terrible at it. And so I talked a lot about how that experience really, really struck me. But at Minerva, I know some people are going to understand it, that we have accomplishments. So we have to choose 6 accomplishments and write about 500 characters on it. So I think it's 100 words or so about each accomplishment. So an accomplishment could be literally anything. It could be taking care of your grandmother when she was sick, or it could be anything that you feel proud of and explain why it was so relevant to you. That's why my essays, my accomplishments for this time, they were a lot more personal, because I was in a gap year. And I took a gap year because I wanted to, develop myself and understand who I was as a person and not as a student. And so my application was literally focused on who I was as a human being. My first accomplishment was about my book, which I was really, really proud of at the time. And it was a bit of a secret because it wasn't really published yet when I applied. Then my second accomplishment, and that's why I wrote the quote, crazy is good. Because Minerva is looking for authenticity. And I felt like one of my greatest accomplishments was actually to make the decision to take a gap year. My parents didn't understand, my colleagues didn't understand, and I think I'm over time, sorry. But anyways, I also have a video on that, and my application to Minerva was a lot more personal than to YYGS, and I'm so sorry if I'm over time. Thank you very much. You can reach out to me on my Instagram.
Before finishing, G, why do you think that Minerva chose you, and why did you choose Minerva?
Yeah, good question. I forgot to tell about that. So Minerva is very innovative, and I think it makes sense because right now I'm in a moment where I'm innovating. I'm looking for different opportunities, different ideas, and I want to explore everything, explore my potential and explore the world. And so that's why it's so important for me to travel. I really wanted to travel, and just a tiny secret, I love K-pop. I love BTS. And I'm also going to South Korea, which is very, very exciting. I'm super looking forward to it. That's why.